Okay guys, we're going to do a rethinking reality, and this one's going to be, well, the theme of monkey see, monkey do, right? Okay, let's get into this. Dr. Robert Cassar, eartheracademy.com. Monkey see, monkey do. I could talk on hours on this subject, okay, because as you can see, most people will do what other people do. Right? Just common psychology. And we call that group the collective. Some people will call those NPCs, right? Non-participational characters. Some people, well, will call them the mainstream or the lamestream. Whatever it is, they believe in a lot of stuff. They follow a lot of stuff. They do things that other people do. Right? Sort of like if you study sheep, like I've been doing. We just had 2 new little babies, twins, such cute little guys. And if you study these animals, you can see easily, very easily, that they're herd animals. Okay? When one gets scared, no matter what's going on, if it runs away, they all run away. So a lot of people are just like this. Okay? They're so-called, right, the herd. Right, so the herd is, well, easy to see. Okay, I'm back. First of all, look at, wow, what a beautiful day it is today. Okay, so monkey see, monkey do. You got to really think this through. Okay, why do people follow people? Okay, why do people, like, let's say, fads? Okay, monkey see, monkey do. All of a sudden, somebody says that taking a whole head of celery, right? Grinding it up and drinking it every day. And if you've got stomach problems, guys, you're just drinking an oxalate-rich drink. And whatever it is, but monkey see, monkey do. If we tell you that toilet paper's running out, right? Then what does everybody do? Everybody runs and does what the system says for you to do. So are you, sort of a question, are you a collective consciousness? You live in the collective, okay? But do you act like the collective? Okay, that's another big question. Do you act like the collective? You can see the little babies right here. Day Bubbles! We just had these guys born. Okay, maybe, I guess they're a week old right now. What's up, Bubbles? Bah, that's the mama. What's up, Bubbles? Woohoo! Show them how you can run. Woohoo, woohoo! Okay, so collectively, you live in the collective, right? But are you an individual? Do you think like an individual, or do you think like it says? Monkey see, monkey do, right? Just think about that. Okay, how did we even go ahead and get that meme? Could it be maybe that it has to do with the monkeys, okay, like the humans? Remember, they tell you, science tells you, right? Or scientism tells you, because it's a religion, most of it. Scientism tells you, and tells us, that we, okay, came from monkeys, number one, okay? Evolution theory, Darwinism theory, Big Bang theory, right? Okay, but what they really tell you, okay, is that are you a positive on your bloodline? Okay, like O positive. O positives maybe 85% of the people that are present on this place we live, right? O positive, what does that mean? It means you're positive for the rhesus monkey antigen, right? And if you're O negative, AB negative, O negative, A negative, B negative, then you're negative for being a monkey. Okay, and those are usually blue-eyed people, very white-skinned. Okay, those are usually the O negative bloodline, red hair, okay? You can look it up yourself. It's very few and far between of the regular collective are O negatives. Some are. But if you're not activated when you're a child, like look at Mozart, right? Look at Beethoven. Look at the blue-eyed, you can call them the Merovingian race, right? They call them the blue bloods, or how about the blue eyes? Okay, so there's all different layers here of human, let's just say. Okay, so we know that there's 5 root races: red, black, brown, yellow, and white. Okay, a black person Okay, if you go to Nigeria or Ethiopia, okay, you go to Benin, or you go to one of these countries where there's not that much interbreeding, that species, the original, closer to the original species of black is black. Black is my shirt. Okay? So most of everybody that we see today, no matter if you're black, white, unless you're on an island somewhere, maybe in Japan or something like that, where you're only interbreeding with your own species. But with the invention of airplanes, boats, and just transportation in general, okay, the religions wanted you to stay in your own, keep the bloodlines straight and not make them, if you got Great Danes, then you only mate your Great Dane with another Great Dane, maybe a champion one too, not a mutt, right? So, this goes deep. Okay, there are different species of people here. Let's just put that out there, right? Just like we are humans, remember, so-called. How about dogs are dogs, but are there different species of dogs? That's all. Think about that. A Whippet, right, or a Jack Russell versus a Great Dane or a Rottweiler. Okay, these are all dogs, but they're different species of dogs, and each species, of course, has different virtues, doesn't it? Some of them are hunters, and some of them are just playable dogs, like Labradors, right? Especially the Golden Labs, Chocolate Labs, any of the labs, really. But they're also second part here. Okay, because monkey see, monkey do. Okay, this will make sense in a little bit. Monkey see, monkey do. They say you're a monkey, you came from a monkey. Okay, if you have O positive blood or any positive antigen on your blood, okay, like I said, O positive, O negative, A negative, A positive, AB positive, AB negative. That's what you got. Okay, which species are you? We don't really care what you look like, your avatar. Okay, your body's your avatar. Right, it's physical, and your mind avatar, the formless part of you, seamlessly is intact, okay, in this machine, okay, this organic, really high-level computer that I can go ahead and dream my hand in and out like this, because that's what I'm doing, right? I'm not moving it with my hand, I'm dreaming it with my mind, and it just does it. Okay, so you know that there's the different bloodlines. Now let's get into the connection that you have, the software programs. When we're born here, okay, everybody, or at least maybe most of the people, because some people that were born here actually could remember part of a past life. They remember their family, such and such. They even take them to their houses, right? There's been many reports on that. But let's just look at the average person. You come here, your brain is erased, right? Erased. You know nothing. Your software programs, you have a hardware, like a computer, okay, and your computer has 0 software programs on it. It doesn't have any. Doesn't have Word, doesn't have connections anywhere. Gmail, nothing. Okay, so it's just basically a machine. Okay, it's a fully intact computer, but this doesn't work. Okay, do you know how to speak? Do you know how to put your clothes on? What kind of clothes to put on? Do you know what to eat? Anything. Okay, do you know how to wipe your arse in the right direction? You had to learn it. You have to go to school, right, to be able to make it so you, being a person here with amnesia, can be worthy in the matrix. Okay, or some people call the simulacrum, in this place. Okay, whatever you want to call it, in this program here, because we're all programmed. Remember, if your brain was erased when you came here, means you had 0 software programs. We had to put you in 15,000 hours of school just to be able to make you somebody that we could use in a good way, okay? And or maybe in not so good of a way. But whatever it is, that's all we're going to teach you. Anyways, like I said, it's not complicated, but it's just very complex. Okay, so we have different connections in the brain. Remember, we have 2 hemispheres of the brain. You have left hemisphere, right hemisphere, right? Okay, we know when we use our right hand, my left hemisphere is connecting that. When I use my left hand, my right hemisphere of my brain is doing this one. And that's why you see a lot of people, remember, do you have half a brain activated? Okay, and that's truthful. Do you have half a brain activated? Or do you have both brains activated? That's a question you may want to sort of ask yourself. And if you have both brains activated, it's really simple. If you can play music with both hands really, really super good and play by heart, right? Not by your eyes, by reading notes, we know that you are a cross-brain symbiont, which means you're using two parts of your brain, because you have to use this brain on this side to do that side, and you got to use, okay, this brain on this side to use this side. And if you can use both those hands in harmony and then use the foot pedal, remember you have multiple brains and different parts of your brain activated. Okay, the average person, okay, that you see is O positive. O positive. They're positive for the rhesus monkey, so maybe you did come from the monkey. That's what they say. Okay, and there's no missing links. Okay, remember the missing link was what? Lucy, short for what? Lucifer, maybe. 4.2 million years ago. Really? Okay, the missing link. Anyways, software programs. Sun's really hot right now, so I'm in the shade. Software programs. Which connection do you have? Okay, you write with your right, let's say, which uses your left brain. And if you're a gun enthusiast, if you shoot archery, if you use any type of instrument that you're going to have to go ahead and sight down with both eyes, you're going to have to find out which eye is the, you can call the main eye, okay, and which eye is the following eye, because there is one in control up here, these two eyes. One is the main eye, which is the one that really works, and the other one follows it everywhere it goes. So most people write with their right, and if I gave them a gun to shoot, they'd use the same side. Most people. I'm talking 95, 97%. There's very few people. I test people all the time. I did do a video with the retreat group called Balancing the Brain Hemispheres, and we did take the group and I show you. Okay, anybody that plays baseball, plays any sport, especially archery, any type of weapons where you have to hold it up and sight down with your eye, you're going to use one eye, and that's the dominant eye, and the other eye won't work. You won't be able to see through it, right? So I write with my right, okay, and when I shoot a weapon, like right now, I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to use my left eye, okay, on my side. But the average person, okay, is using right and right. That's what they use. Okay, which means you're only using half of your brain. Can you play music? Did your parents go ahead and actually do anything for you when you were growing up besides just feed you and wipe your arse for a little while, right? Then sent you off to preschool so they can get a break, and then, well, the rest was his story. It's not history. It was his story. All right, that's history. All the things that they're going to teach your child. And a lot of it pushes them away from an intelligent design, like this beautiful tree behind me. Beautiful, look at this thing. Okay, now the mainstream science or scientism will tell you that this tree, okay, like this grass and those bananas right there, and those little sheepies, okay, which have their programs intact, how do they know how to feed? Okay, do you believe in intelligent design, or do you believe in the Big Bang theory? Use your logic, use your reason, use your sensors, not your senses, because our senses have been perverted in many ways. Okay, so do you believe in intelligent design? There's bamboo right there, that big huge tree right here. Look, coconut trees with the coconuts. Okay, look, avocado trees right here. That's a cinnamon tree, the big tall one there. That's another type of cinnamon, different type. That's macadamia nut. Okay, again, big coconut tree. Peach tree right here. Where did they come from? How did they form into what they are? And they don't cross-pollinate with other species. Does this banana, because science will tell you, remember, that everything came from the Big Bang, and it just assembled itself in its own way. By itself. Look, see the bananas up there? It just assembled itself in its own way. And of course, this tree not only grows, but it grows new babies, right? And it keeps on replicating and replicating, as this one was just one of these. As you can see the big daddy up there, the big tall one, and the rest of these are its children. It just keeps replicating and replicating and replicating. It only dies when it gets too big or when it doesn't have enough nutrition. How about that? Okay. Anyways, okay, there's software programs. So, again, most people I see That's why a lot of my material is sometimes a little bit over most people's heads. It's just because it's what it is. Okay, so, you know, most people I see, they're not, well, they're not really the people that they think they are. Okay, because there are different, like I said, species here. We're not all the same. Okay, that's why there's some species here, as you can see, that really run fast. There are other species that are super freaking strong, and there's other species here that you'll see, okay, from different timelines that were very tall. You call them giants if they're 8 feet and 9 feet tall, right? But they were in the timeline. Just to jump on this part just for a sec here, the timeline. One of the better channels that I'm watching right now, or the best channel for me, okay, is because I'm into chronology. I'm into looking at what the truth is only by the past. I don't like to be told, okay, what the past was and or anything else, because I like to have people that lived there at those times sometimes be able to tell me the way it was, right? So I've been watching this channel called Archaics, and Jason Brashears, and I've been binging on watching videos. Why? Because it's helping me at the level that I'm at and be able to really connect in some dots too. Remember, I've been studying parasites for a long time, and so there is a connection here. There is something wrong with the place we live in here. There is something wrong, isn't there? Okay, and when you connect together the archons, right, or what you call the devil, right? Or what you call Satan, or what you call something evil. How about that the human animals, the fish, the birds, the reptiles, the amphibians, they're all infected by certain things we call parasites. And when you really look deeply into parasites, you see real simple. You know what it is? Maybe, could it be possible that these parasites are the demons and they're inside you? Right? And not only those physical parasites, because they go real small, like spirochetes, 200 to 500 microns. Okay, they are a lot of creatures that small. You need a microscope to be able to see. And you know, if you don't have a microscope to be able to see and put it under the right filter, okay, phase contrast, you're not going to be able to see these little things inside your body, and they're not supposed to be there. Anyways, I've been doing a lot of research lately on anti-parasitic meds and parasites and detoxification, putting things together. So it makes it a little more easier for the average person, or even not even the average, because the average person, remember, is of half a brain activated, and a lot of the information that I want to share, a lot of the information on Archaics channel that he's going to show you, you have to have a pretty good mind already to start with. Okay, so, and it does take a lot of catching up because it goes deep. The system here is very complex. It is not just physical, it is also dimensional. And there's lots of evidence of things that, you know, different people want to share in this place that maybe you can't see. You can't see. So anyways, go over to Jason's channel, Jason Brashears, Archaics, and tell him Dr. Cassar sent you. Be good one of these days for him and I to do maybe podcasts too, and to relate. Okay, let me show you the demons that are inside your system instead of just talk about them, right? So I have a dark field microscope, specially made to look at blood, different types of lenses, different filters to be able to see things that you normally can't see just under white light, right? So I have a few other friends, researchers, that have the same microscope, and we've been checking everybody for spirochetes. And spirochetes are little carnivorous snakes, okay, that are in everyone I've tested. Everyone. They're in your gingiva, they're in your blood. Take 1 drop of blood, put it on the microscope slide, put a cover slip on top of that very gingerly, not smashing it down, just lay it down. Put it under the scope, and you're on video camera, and check out these little snakes that are in your blood. And when you look them up, you'll see that there's many species of spirochetes. The corkscrew spirochete, it spins like a corkscrew, like a drill. Goes right into the RBCs and is carnivorous. Could it be possible these microparasites cause a lot of sickness and disease? And if they're in, well, everybody I've tested so far, well, then I don't think that they're part of our biology, but they're everywhere. They're in lakes, rivers, streams, spirochetes. They're specifically in sick people a lot. Like anybody that's got really bad mouth disease, gingivitis, you're losing your gums. How about these little creatures, these microparasites, these archons, these little demons, okay, that are in the body? Once you inflame up anything in your body, you have a hip problem, hip inflammation, okay, you bruise something, you're putting phones up to your head, causing some type of inflammation with the nanoparticles you have in your brain, right? Okay, microwaves go in and it doesn't really hurt the tissue because it's not strong enough, but when it hits a piece of aluminum, cadmium, any type of heavy metal particulate, right, then of course that microwave would heat up that little tiny little piece of metal and cause it to gain heat. And it would produce exothermic heat. Not from the tissue, but from the particulates that are metallic, right? Anyways, these spirochetes is what I've seen, okay, could really be a lot of causes of a lot of different, you can just call it dysfunction, because that's what it is. So I've been studying, like I said, parasites for 40 years. Okay, this has been my daytime and nighttime job. I've really put together Earther Academy so I could go ahead and actually show you some of the experimentation that not only I'm doing, okay, but you may want to go ahead and try. Maybe. No one's asking you to do it, but taking the information and putting it through your own consciousness, doing your own research, okay, and seeing, you know, like if you want to go on vacation, you're going to do research. You're not just going to go, no, it's not hearsay. You're trying to go ahead and really look through things and then see if you want to practice it. And if you think that you don't have parasites, remember, you're just fooling yourself. And parasites, remember, slash demons, slash archons, slash, you can call it some weird creature that lives inside the host. Lives inside you. You don't even know it's there. Remember, it's so small. They're microparasites. They're super small. In the micron range, they're just really small. And if you illuminate them right, you can see them. Dentists have been showing people for years these little spirochetes of the mouth, eating the gums, eating tissue, because they're carnivorous. They eat flesh, especially damaged. So let's say you're brushing your teeth really hard, right? And you're hitting your gums and you're scratching them up all the time. Okay, spirochetes are in your system. If they're in your mouth, they're in your blood, because they're not just selectively in an area. These are tiny little organisms. Anyways, in the very near future, I've got about 80 pages that I've written on anti-parasitic medications, protocols, practices, principles, and we go through some of the different meds that the World Health Organization has on their most essential list. And these have been in practice, used for 40, 50 years, very effective in reducing or eradicating a lot of different levels of parasites. Again, if you go to the doctor, I don't care what kind of doctor you go to, they all should. They're all, even anybody, I don't care if it's dentistry, whatever it is, psychiatrics, okay? You go to any doctor, they should ask you, when's the last time you've been wormed? And are you on some type of management of parasites? Everybody has parasites, and if you think you don't, again, monkey see, monkey do. And the only way you really know, like I said, I've done lots of different retreats here, and everybody has a variety of different parasites, especially if you do protocols correctly. Fasting, doing certain types of enemas, doing certain other types of compounds that you would take in from mouth, right? Sauna protocols, different heavy metal reduction protocols. It's all on Earther Academy. Okay, but then again, like I said, it's all an experiment. Just how to clean your skin, just to get the skin parasites off. Jeez, every week I clean my skin from top to bottom with the vodka and the different minerals that I put in. Even if you don't have them all, it doesn't matter. Cleaning your skin and then re-lubricating your skin with coconut oil. And my coconut oil, I put in some iodine and I put in some distilled pine oil in there. Mix it up. I only make a little bit at a time. That's my oil for my body. And that re-lubricates my tissues after I've wiped off all the oil. So anyways, these are all pieces here that I see that right now that remember, why has someone got a big, huge belly sticking out and they're a guy? Why do they have such a big belly? Could it be possible that they're full of not only microparasites, but macroparasites? The bigger species, the tinea species, the pork tapeworm, the pig tapeworm, the fish tapeworm, all different types of dwarf tapeworms, different things called cestodes, different things called nematodes, like roundworms, okay? And you wouldn't believe how many small little worms like pinworms or whipworms that are in just about every insect. So if you want to eat crickets and grasshoppers, guys, you'll find out that they're loaded full of parasites in their intestinal tract, loaded. And the parasites sometimes, you know, the grasshopper's this big and the parasite could be 2 feet long. The little tiny little, like spaghetti string, like string it looks like, very small little string, like 10-pound fishing line. Every time you swim in a river, in a lake, ocean even, okay, you're sweeping up the garage and there's rat poop in there, pee-pee, just feces from insects. Remember, the insects are full of parasites. Everybody's infected here. So it only stands to reason, once you find out, could it be possible that you are infected too? What are you going to do about it? These areas of parasitology and toxicology, okay, are not really taught at all in school. At all. Again, if you go to the doctor and the doctor does not ask you, when's the last time you have taken some form of anti-parasitic, either medication or herbs, okay, or resins or different things that we teach at Earth Academy too. Remember, there's lots of other ways you can reduce parasites. It has to do with the foods that you eat. That has to do with the heavy metal concentration that you have in your body. How much toxicity do you have in your body? Hey, look, 60 years old. So, excuse me, 62. And if I take away the beard right there, how old is that guy? Okay, I mean, I'm not being arrogant. Whatever I do is helping me keep my avatar as clean as I can clean it and not to overdo things. Because remember, it takes a long time. I've been doing detoxification parasitology for over 40 years. And a lot of things I used to do, I don't do them anymore. I don't need to. They're too aggressive for the system. Okay, the protocols are maybe too aggressive. So changed a lot of things, and all you can do is experiment with these protocols. And there's so many. Like this morning, I cleaned my ears. I cleaned my sinuses. I cleaned my mouth. And I disinfected my eyes. And I do a lot of protocols, like I said, on Earth Academy. When's the last time you've disinfected your ears and taken out all of the creatures that live in there? Okay, you get crud on your eyes in the morning, guess what you have? You got parasites in your eyes. Could be hair mites, could be small little spirochetes pooping in your eyes, causing you in the morning to wake up with some garbage on there, and you take it off and it's like stuck to your eyelashes. That means you have parasites. End of story. You're losing your hair? How about that? How about hair mites? Okay. Hair mites, they're called Desodex, right? I forgot the name of it. All of a sudden I lost my train. Anyways, these are hair mites. Desodex follicularis, right? Follicularum. These are tiny, 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 little, tiny, tiny, super tiny. 500 of them can fit in one pore of your hair. Okay, and they poop so much in the hair, they eat sebum. They just eat oil. That's all they eat. And so a lot of people produce oil. Men and women lose their hair. Could it be possible? Again, hair mites. Hair mites. Different types of creatures living in the pore, destroying the biology of the pore, causing it to die. Too much poop in the pore. Remember, parasites do poop in the body. So anyways, monkey see, monkey do. Let's get back on this track and we'll hang this up here. 28 minutes already. Actually, no, because I did a little part in the beginning. I'm just jumping around here is because, first of all, monkey see, monkey do. Why would you eat that garbage, okay, in that person's, let's say you're at the store and you see some person, and remember, 70% of the people, 80% of the people are 10 pounds plus overweight. Over 50 to 60% of the people in the United States are obese. That's 30 pounds plus overweight. That's bloody ridiculous. Okay, just think, monkey see, monkey do. And it used to be before, if you saw somebody a little chubby, a little heavy, or just obese, you'd say, whoa, okay? Now everybody's the same, so no one says anything. And if you're sort of in shape, they look at you and go, whoa. So, you know, there is, like I said, monkey see, monkey do. Why would you eat the stuff that's in their cart? Because I can see if you eat that, you're going to look like that in time. Remember, processed foods, a lot of them aren't even real. They're synthetic. They've got so much crap in them, okay, they can last for a whole bloody year and not go bad. Okay, fast food, all different types of breads and grains and all these things. It's a, you know, it's an adventure to figure out what your body can digest. And I know it can't digest herbicides, can't digest pesticides, insecticides, fungicides, chemicals, or anything like else. It stores them. So are you detoxing? That's all, just a question. Anyways, what I see here is of these parasites this is the fall of man and maybe this place, are the archons. They got injected into this place where we live. Because remember, parasites, look at them. Look at the pig tapeworm. Look at the teeth on just a little tiny little hookworm. And you may have 500 of those in your colon, causing you to bleed, causing you to have maybe irritable bowel syndrome, digestive problems. And how did you get them? You can get hookworms just by walking on the grass bare feet. I do protocols on myself because I'm not going to live in a bubble. And I know that parasites are everywhere. And I know I have animals pooping everywhere. Okay, in the morning, every morning, I spend an hour cleaning up everybody and their poop. I worm all my animals. If I don't worm these guys here, they get sick. And not only that, they pass all their parasites, their demons, their archons, right? They're Satan's little helpers to everybody else. That's how it works. So everybody and everything should be wormed in domestication. That's all. In domestication. And if not, well, we're just reinfecting ourselves. And the problem is that, well, once you get sick, what are you going to do? That's the question. What are you going to do once you get sick? I know what you're going to do. You're going to start looking into it. And if you're not a good researcher, you're not going to find maybe the correct information. So the video that I'm doing here, like I said, I got 80 pages of notes. Also, another good video, you should, like I said, you should watch all of and read the descriptions thoroughly and watch the links. Read all the links and the articles that I put in the description, the show notes, so you can learn more about how I use CD, right? I use it in my hot tub. I don't use chlorine. I use it in my water catchment tank. I use it in a lot of different things, including myself, internally and externally. Detoxification, like I said, is not taught in school. I went to medical school. I went to Dr. Chiropractic, right? Learned everything. Guyton's Physiology, this big, thick book that every medical doctor, every doctor that wants to go ahead and become a primary care physician, because a chiro is a primary care physician, you have to do gynecology, you have to do prostate exams, 10 of those to get out of internship. You got to do a lot of stuff. We just don't do pharmacology. So the weird thing is the doctors, right, an MD, he can't take any x-rays, can't even read them unless he's got a license. He has to send it to a radiologist, right, to get an opinion. They can't do therapy either. They can't do physical therapy at all. They can't bill for it. They have to hire a physical therapist, a registered physical therapist, versus a chiro, right? He can take x-rays. He can go ahead and diagnose on x-rays, okay, because we have different licenses that let us do different things. Can't give out any synthetic pharmaceuticals, which is fine. I have lots of medical doctors when I was practicing, and we'd talk for a second, and he'd set them up with whatever they would need, anti-inflammatories, X, Y, and Z, to get them out of crisis. That's it, not to go ahead and manage them forever. And Anyways, I've got lots of story. But, you know, just getting back to, are you on a anti-parasitic program? And since these things are everywhere, you just don't know they're inside you. And if you go to the doctor and they do a stool sample and stuff, you got to send your stool sample to the vet, not to the hospital. And that doesn't even mean anything anyways, because the examiner, they look at these things, they could go ahead and let me tell you, we know, if you're a parasitologist, that everybody's infected with a variety of different creatures. You don't even have to know what they look like. You don't have to know their names. You don't even have to know a lot of different areas of them. If you're doing general parasitic cleanings, then that would be, of course, a very smart thing to do. And there are different protocols that you can do that are very effective. So I've been using, and I'll get into this, 3 different types of anti-parasitic medications, but it's how you use them. It's the dosage rate you use them. It's the frequency rate you use them. Okay, one is to go ahead and mostly take away microparasites. And a lot of these meds, they, of course, don't kill things, they paralyze things, or they make certain parts of the parasite not be able to work, but it's not a poison. Okay, it makes them not be able to function. Okay, so that's different versus taking some type of poison inside your body, like radiation poisoning, right? When you get chemotherapy, or when you take synthetic medications. All the synthetic medications are poisons. Remember, it's pharmakia. Okay, it's black magic, right? It's synthetic drugs, and they do work. I worked in the hospital in the emergency for 5 years. They've saved not only my life 5 times, I've seen them save hundreds of people's lives in the emergency. But when you go to the hospital to be able to, because let's say you've got blood coming out in your stools, is anybody going to check you for parasites? Is anybody going to put you on an anti-parasitic program? Let's say you have gas and bloating. Could it be caused by your diet? Could it be caused by maybe you have depression? Maybe you have cats. Maybe you have dogs. Do you think that you don't have these parasites that are in almost all these animals? And I'll just say almost all. I'll just say all, really, but let's just say almost all, just to make it so, not saying everybody, but everything is. The toxoplasmic gondii, I'm going to go over, like I said, in the 80 pages, I'm going to go through a lot of different common parasites. I'm going to show you how they mind control. These are demons. They mind control the host. They tell you your sexuality. They tell you how to think. They tell you when to eat and what to eat. Okay? They make you feel, because they're pooping inside the body. Remember, parasites poop in the body and they cause dysfunction. Anyways, this is one of the most important things that everybody should go ahead and look into if you're an individual. If you're not monkey see, monkey do, because monkey see, monkey do, remember, they're all overweight. They're following the protocols that the system tells them to do without question. I'm not saying not to follow things, I'm just saying question everything. Look, I'm in Hawaii right now, right? Okay, and since I'm on the side of the globe, then I should be this way, right? I should be on the side of the globe. I should be standing sideways right now. And my sheep are eating sideways right now. My house is sideways. The trees are sideways. That bird flying by is going sideways. Hey, that fly right there and this little bug that just went by. Everything's sideways, really. Again, there's a lot of story here. Use your sensors instead of your senses that maybe sensei has maybe told you not the right so. Because mostly everything we know as the collective, okay, if you believe in a lot of things, is just, it's just hearsay. You weren't there in many of the history systems. So this is why I like to go ahead and go through with Archaics, is because he's a chronologist and he's going through X, Y, and Z in the past in different calendars. Lots of different calendars. There's original calendars, the Annus Mundi. There's a lot of different. There's the Egyptian calendar, the Coptic calendar, the Gregorian calendar. They're all over. Okay, chronologists put all these dates together, and reading old text to be able to put this stuff together. And of course, I don't know everything. I know a lot of people don't know everything, but we do know some things. And what we want is maybe everybody else to be able to go ahead and say, hey, let some people, some of the individuals, okay, he calls errants, I call them anomalies, some of the anomalies, to be able to see if they could maybe change something in this place for the better. How about that? Okay, Jason calls it the simulacrum, right? Or the simulacra. Simulacra. Okay, and you have been programmed. You are in a simulation. You're in your own simulation. Remember, you went to school. You learned you came from a monkey, right? You got a PhD. You even went to higher level education. PhD, piled higher and deeper, is because now you believe in string theory, in hypertheoretical physics, and a lot of theories, like how the heart works. No one knows how the heart works. We can watch it and we can see it, but how does it do it? How did it form itself? Okay? How did the body get 75,000 miles of hose? I've cut open so many bodies. Remember, going to school and after school, just being in hunting, looking inside animals since I was 12 years old. These are machines. These are organic, very complex machines. Okay? They are intelligently designed. They also have been corrupted, like I said, with different types of injected, you can call it some type of weird creature that inhabits all of the creatures and all the things, if it can. And maybe it wasn't this way everywhere, but now I can see it is. Why is everybody so fat? Why is everybody overweight? Why is everybody monkey see, monkey do? Why? Remember, critical thinking means that you ask questions. And if you have two brains activated, getting back to this, okay, there are most of the people here, remember, they're just half a brain activated. And since science calls you monkeys, well, you're half a brain activated monkeys. That's it. Okay? Does that mean you're dumb? No. It just means you're limited. You only have half a brain. You only have half of the engines working. Half of this thing, this chip up here that runs, the supercomputer runs the rest of the system. You only have half of it working. So are there ways to be able to train both of the brains? Of course. Your children should all know 3 musical instruments. They should all know 3 languages. Should all go ahead and be masters using both hands at the same time. I don't care if it's using a backhoe. Remember, you got to be a master at using the backhoe to make it look like it's dancing and not jerky all over the place. You need 2 brains for that. People with half a brain can still learn. It just means it's going to take you a long time, but you'll never be as good as the person who has 2 brains activated. Never. You can get good, but you'll never be as good, as fast, okay? Or learn as much, because basically once you have 2 brains activated, right, your system sort of is at a whole different level of connection, which means that your eyes decode the matrix in a different way. You see things different than other people do. You're looking around and you're noticing more bits of information through your brain hemispheres, through your connections that you have, the level of your toxicity, the level of the parasites that are in your body. Remember, they're pooping inside your body, making you so you can't see. You can see, the 3-year-old kid does see, the same as a 30-year-old person, right? But it's the decoding pattern that lets the eyes see, but the brain decodes. How much do you decode, is the question. Are you a decoder? Anyways, time to go. Got things to do. Let's go look at these guys one last time here. Give me bubbles. Yeah, it's hot out, so everybody's in the shade. And herbivores eat about 10 hours a day. And all they do is process this grass right here, right? If you think you're an herbivore, guys, then give it a try. Don't be shy. See if you can eat this grass from when you're born. Just from you're born. Remember, you're going to have some milk for a little bit, probably about a month and a half, and then she kicks them off. That's it. And then they're eating right now. They're starting to nibble, and they're only a week old. They're running everywhere. Remember, they have a complete software program. They know what to do. They don't have to go to school. They don't believe in a lot of BS. Okay? But do you think that you could eat this grass and turn it into this machine? just by eating this. You don't have a fermented chamber, right? Apes have huge rear fermented chambers. That's why they can eat a lot of vegetables, but they also eat 5 pounds or so of insects a day. That's flesh. Okay, the cows eat a lot of grass, but they also eat a lot of insects too that are in the grass. Yes, they do. So nothing's a vegetarian. There's creatures on this little thing, if I take my microscope out and look small enough. Right? Keep looking and looking and looking, and I'll see something living on here. And everything that's living is some form of physical thing. It's not just a plant. So, you know, in this place that we live, I call it the extraction plane. Okay, we have to extract in order to survive. All of us need to take energy from something else and then take that energy and do something worthy with it, right? Could it be possible at this time right now, and we're going to leave? Could it be possible that the parasites that are in the people's body are making them turn into the parasites that they are with each other, with the species, right? With everything. How about the parasites maybe doing things to them, because they are mind-controlling little demons. Remember the toxoplasmic gondii, okay, which is a parasite that's in just about all cats. And they give this parasite to their owners. That's why you can become the cat lady and you'll take care of these cats. You'll love them to death, right? Until they die. But the toxoplasmic gondii is secreted in the urine of the cat. And regularly the cat urine to a rat or a mouse is repulsive and they run. But with the toxoplasmic gondii, once the rat gets this in their body, okay, or the mouse, then all of a sudden now they're attracted sexually to the cat. And is that maybe why they're such good mouse and rat hunters? Could it be possible? Remember, the toxoplasmic gondii is controlling the rat, making it want to mate with the cat. And so it gets eaten. And so the cycle repeats itself over and over and over again. Anyways, it's the same with the flea too. The cat does give a lot of diseases as an intermediary. Okay, so all you can do is worm all your pets, anything that's domesticated, including yourself, your children. Everybody needs to look into, like I said, detoxification and parasitology. Okay guys, we'll see you on Earthly Academy. Like I said, and very shortly I'll be finishing that video on anti-parasitic medications, the things that I've used, and a lot of information to make it so you can start your own research and maybe your own program on your own. Okay? And there are many doctors, not a lot, but there are many that now are seeing the truth about parasites and toxicology. Again, could it be possible that that's a lot of suffering that is being caused by these two words, parasitology or parasites and toxics? Okay? Toxic things and parasites. You get parasites, you get toxic, you get toxicity, you get parasites. How about that? So they're interchangeable. Okay guys, we'll see you guys. And again, what a beautiful day. There you go. Wow. Whew. Level as a pancake, right? Okay, we'll see you guys. Aloha.